The lion charges forward with the power of the savanna's top predator. But one mistake in a single moment changes the direction of the hunt completely. The prey does not run. It immediately fights back with fierce survival instinct. From the dominant force, the lion is pushed back in the middle of the tense confrontation. When the king of the savanna loses control, what will happen in the very next second? In the wild, spotted hyenas and lions are lifelong rivals across the African grasslands. They share the same ecosystem, hunt many of the same prey species, and often compete over the results of a hunt. An adult lion weighs around 420 pounds, far heavier than a spotted hyena at about 140 pounds. But when numbers come into play, the balance is no longer decided by muscle alone. When one or two lionesses separate from the pride to hunt, hyenas quickly recognize the opportunity. With superior numbers, they surround from multiple directions and rapidly shift the balance of the encounter. The hyenas call repeatedly, creating psychological pressure while also drawing more clan members into the scene. Whenever the lion turns to defend one side, those behind it move closer toward weaker angles. With a bite force of about 1,100 pounds per square inch, hyenas can pressure a lion into leaving the prey behind or retreating. Even so, a fully grown male lion remains the greatest threat to hyenas. One sudden charge can force the entire group to spread out. But if the opponent is a young male, an old lion, a weakened lion, or one that has become isolated, hyenas may shift into a wearing down strategy. They make false approaches, pull back, then return from the different directions, forcing the opponent to react again and again. The encounter can sometimes last for hours, and when hyena numbers are overwhelming, the balance of power on the savanna can clearly shift. In the minds of many people, the zebra is simply an easy target on the African savanna. But that is a major misconception. Behind those black and white stripes stands more than 700 pounds of muscle, powerful legs, and a survival instinct that is always ready to emerge. Across the open grasslands, a lion moves silently through the short grass toward a grazing herd of zebras. It lowers its body, closes the distance to just a few feet, and prepares for the decisive pounce. But at that exact moment, the zebra suddenly stops, pivots, and delivers a powerful kick with its hind legs. The force sends the lion backward and completely disrupts the attack. The hunting attempt falls apart, while the zebra quickly moves beyond danger. In another encounter, a solitary lion tries to isolate a young zebra at the edge of the herd. Sensing the threat, the dominant stallion does not follow the herd away. Instead, it turns and faces the predator. Charging forward at speeds exceeding 40 miles per hour, it creates enough pressure to force the lion away from its target. In that moment, the instinct to protect the herd changes the entire outcome of the confrontation. Although the lion remains a symbol of power on the savanna, every hunt carries risk. In nature's unforgiving cycle, the zebra proves that survival is not only about running away, but also about knowing when to stand and fight back. In the dry, semi-desert regions of Africa, the oryx survives not only through speed, but also through the courage to stand its ground. Weighing around 450 pounds, it carries horns nearly 40 inches long, straight and sharp like two natural spears. They are not weapons for display, but a survival shield when the animal is pushed to its limit. Even pack-hunting predators must be cautious around this hoofed defender. For a lion, the oryx is difficult prey to overpower. When the safe distance is broken, the oryx immediately turns to face the predator. It lowers its head, points its horns forward, and turns its body into a defensive wall. The tension rises. The lion charges in, but a perfectly timed head thrust from the oryx causes the attack to stall. The predator is forced to ease its pressure and loses its advantage. Here, the oryx shows that survival is not only about running away. Sometimes staying calm, holding position, and reacting at the right moment is the way to protect the chance to live. Across the African savanna, African wild dogs may not have the massive size of lions, but they are among the most persistent and coordinated predators in the wild. They live in constant competition with big cats, as both pursue the same herds of hoofed animals and frequently compete for food resources. During one chase, a pack of wild dogs works together to separate a young buffalo from the protection of the herd. Just as the prey becomes isolated, a lioness suddenly appears and moves in to claim the advantage. But the wild dogs do not disappear like many smaller predators would. They pull back briefly, give up the prey for the moment, then quickly return to harass and maintain pressure. At another time, when a lone lioness is spotted in an unfavorable position, the pack rapidly forms a circle of pressure. Capable of maintaining speeds close to 37 miles per hour over long distances, the wild dogs take turns cutting off escape routes and forcing the lioness to keep turning in defense. Whenever the lioness attempts a counterattack, the formation immediately spreads out and then closes in again from another direction. The pack's advantage becomes even more apparent near water sources. When many wild dogs gather around these areas, a lion must advance cautiously under pressure from multiple sides. In nature, power does not belong only to the strongest. It also belongs to those who know how to work together at the right moment. Even lions must respect these masters of coordinated hunting. Along the banks of Africa's rivers, silence never means safety. A single unusual ripple is enough to put the entire shoreline on alert. The hippopotamus appears like a living boulder, weighing around 4,000 pounds, a presence powerful enough to make even apex predators think twice. The tension quickly turns into conflict when a lion boldly swims across the river toward the grasslands. A territorial boundary has been crossed, and the hippo has no intention of yielding. It opens its enormous mouth, releases a powerful warning display, and surges forward, sending water exploding across the surface. Any sense of safe distance disappears in an instant. With a bite force of about 1,800 pounds per square inch, the river giant forces the intruder to turn back and leave the danger zone. But the most dramatic moment comes in a different encounter on land, when a pride of lions attempts to block a hippo's return route after feeding. Even without the advantage of deep water, the hippo refuses to back down. It pivots, drives forward with the full force of its massive body, and breaks through the pressure around it. Its determination transforms into raw, instinctive resolve. Real encounters have shown that getting too close, even for a moment, can leave a lion facing the overwhelming power of an angered giant. For the lion, the ruler of the African grasslands, fear is often a distant concept. With the instincts of an apex predator, it dominates many animals across the savanna. Yet at the water's edge, that confidence gives way to caution. Like the hippopotamus, the Nile crocodile is closely tied to the water, but it also turns the river into an environment perfectly suited for ambush. A confrontation begins when a male lion misjudges the situation and enters deep water while pursuing prey on the opposite bank. In the murky current, it loses the footing, speed, and agility it normally relies on. From beneath the surface, the crocodile moves in silently. With an estimated bite force of around 3,700 pounds per square inch, the river predator quickly gains the advantage. A single mistake is enough to turn the lion's hunt into a difficult situation. In another encounter, a crocodile comes ashore to rest and warm itself in the sun. A lion may approach to investigate, but that confidence rarely lasts. The moment the crocodile turns, adopts a defensive posture, and points its powerful jaws forward, maintaining distance becomes the wiser choice. The danger becomes even greater when an entire pride crosses a river. Young, slower, or less experienced lions can easily drift into risky positions. The crocodile takes advantage of the confusion, applying pressure from beneath the water. Before the adult lions can fully react, the situation is often enough to make the entire pride more cautious. In nature, strength matters only when it is used in the right place. Even the lion must recognize that at the water's edge, it is no longer the one in control. Across the cold depths of the ocean, the orca emerges like a warrior of the shadows. There is no need for chaos to display overwhelming power. Every turn, every silent formation becomes part of a calculated survival strategy. The moment prey or another predator falls out of rhythm, the pursuit is over in seconds. What makes the orca such an enduring symbol of power in the ocean? If dolphins symbolize speed, sharp awareness, and freedom across the open sea, orcas represent organized power. Dolphins live in flexible communities, communicate through sound, coordinate while feeding, and can burst past 20 miles per hour. That precise rhythm of movement makes them the silver arrows of the ocean. But in front of orcas, even agility is pushed to its limit. Off the Pacific coast, a pod of orcas moves like predators ruling the surface. Led by the largest matriarch, they detect a pod of dolphins ahead and immediately split into two lines of approach. One group follows from behind, applying pressure and forcing the dolphins to keep accelerating. The other circles ahead, gradually closing off the escape route like an ocean door beginning to shut. As the dolphin formation starts to break apart, young or isolated individuals can fall away from the protection of the group. One of the most experienced orcas launches from the water. A powerful close-range surge through the white water overwhelms the prey for a brief moment. In some situations, this behavior is not only part of hunting, but also a practical lesson for younger members of the pod. In the ocean, orcas do not dominate through chaos. They dominate through discipline, memory, and the strength of an entire family line. Across the blue highways of the Pacific, gray whales carry out one of the ocean's most enduring migrations. Each year, they often swim more than 10,000 miles, leaving the cold northern seas for the warm lagoons near Baja California. An adult can reach around 45 feet in length, but during breeding season, that strength is devoted mainly to protecting the calf. On the return journey, the mother whale keeps the calf close to her side, using her massive body to shield against waves, maintain swimming rhythm, and cross open water. But in narrow passages or turbulent swells, orcas begin to appear in the distance. They follow carefully, observing swimming direction, spacing, and the moments when the mother whale is forced to change pace. When the opportunity comes, the orca formation separates into multiple lines of approach. One group applies pressure from the front, while another controls movement from behind, forcing the mother whale to constantly reposition herself. The ocean surface churns white, yet beneath it lies disciplined coordination. Some observations have recorded more than 17 orcas taking part in a single encounter of this kind. The great white shark has long stood as a symbol of fear in the ocean. An adult carries a streamlined body stretching over 20 feet, sharp teeth, and an astonishingly sensitive sense of smell. With the ability to detect electrical signals from prey, it seems almost built to dominate cold and temperate waters. When that silhouette appears, many marine creatures immediately change their course. But in front of orcas, that power is no longer absolute. From the deeper water, the pod emerges like precise black and white shadows, calm and imposing. They use sound, formation, and coordination to identify a lone target, then gradually close the distance. At around 30 feet long, an orca is not only larger, but also formidable because of its hunting intelligence. Instead of rushing into chaos, each individual circles, controls direction, and watches the shark's response. When the moment arrives, pressure from below can turn the shark over, placing it into a temporary stillness known as tonic immobility. The goal is not to prolong the encounter, but to end the strategy with cold coordination. The reward is often a rich source of energy, giving the pod a powerful reason to take such a calculated risk. In the ocean, the greatest power is not found only in teeth, but in the intelligence to read an opponent. Along the cold coastlines around the sub-Antarctic islands and Patagonia, the boundary between sand, surf, and deep water can be only a few feet wide. For South American sea lions, this is a place to rest, warm in the sun, and raise their young with the rhythm of the tides. An adult male can weigh more than 600 pounds, enough to make many predators cautious. But for orcas, the sea lion is a worthy challenge. From offshore, the pod studies the tide, the slope of the beach, and the position of the target. When the opportunity appears, one orca accelerates, slides half of its body onto the shore by momentum, then quickly returns to deeper water. This technique is known as intentional stranding. Using the force of the waves, the orca can exceed 30 miles per hour, surging almost half its body onto the shallow beach. Its solid head creates a powerful close-range impact, causing the target to lose momentum for a brief moment. Immediately after, it beats its tail, turns its body, and slides back into the sea. Even a slight mistake could leave it trapped on the sand. Offshore, some orcas also use a different technique with stingrays. This species has a long tail with dangerous venom and often hides close to the seafloor. Once the target reveals its position, the orca needs only one precise glide to bring the encounter under control. That is why the orca is not only powerful, but also a strategist that turns terrain into a survival advantage. Silence is sometimes only a thin surface hiding danger. For a seal, floating ice is the final distance between its body and the deep ocean. To survive in cold water, it carries a layer of blubber nearly 2.5 inches thick, helping it retain heat and store energy. This rich source of fat makes seals an important target for some orca populations. When hunting, orcas look for individuals resting on ice. The ice floe seems like a solid shelter, separated from the sea, giving the seal a sense of safety. But the remarkable minds beneath the water turn that very distance into a weakness. The whole pod studies the wind direction, the size of the ice, and the position of the prey before forming a parallel line. When the signal comes, they accelerate together from about 50 feet away, driving a large wave straight towards the edge of the ice. The force of the water shakes the floe, causing the seal to lose balance and search for stable footing again. If it does not work, the orcas repeat the attempt. In some observations, they can create up to about 7 waves, gradually breaking down the ice before the prey slips into the water. This technique is known as wave washing, a behavior learned across many hunting seasons, though it does not appear in all orcas. That is why the orca is considered one of the most remarkable minds in the ocean, able to learn, adapt, and turn water itself into a precise tool for survival. Orcas are among the most intelligent predators in the ocean, known for memory, communication, and coordinated group behavior. An adult can weigh around 12,000 pounds. From icy waters to the open sea, each orca group develops its own way of surviving, passed down through generations. They do not dominate through chaos, but through discipline, observation, and silent unity beneath the waves. Humpback whales are known as the giant singers of the ocean. An adult can weigh nearly 80,000 pounds, with pectoral fins almost 15 feet long, like 2 enormous paddles. They are not easily pressured. Their massive bodies, flexible turning ability, and instinct to protect their young make every encounter a prolonged challenge. Across vast migration routes, orcas remember the stretches of water where mother whales often travel with their calves. These are usually narrow passages where turbulent currents make a steady swimming rhythm harder to maintain. When the pod detects a mother and calf ahead, the orcas approach and gradually tighten the space around them. They take turns applying pressure from different directions, with every movement carrying a purpose. The mother whale responds with defensive strength. She turns her body, uses her long pectoral fins to block the approach, and keeps the calf close beside her. Each time the orcas move in, the surface grows tense and unsettled. Within the turbulent water, one precise diagonal surge widens the distance between mother and calf for a brief moment. Once the protective formation is disrupted, the advantage shifts toward the orcas. In the ocean, survival is sometimes decided by memory, maternal instinct, and every swimming rhythm that cannot afford to fall out of place. Everything settles, but the memory of that failed moment still lingers. The lion pays the price for losing the rhythm of its attack. The prey stands its ground, demonstrating a powerful instinct for survival. The savanna challenges even the most formidable predators. If you want to see more remarkable moments of survival, be sure to like and subscribe today.